Join me. So much awareness. So much awareness to be had. Okay. I want you to understand a little bit of a secret. It's a secret that's not really a secret. And there's so many awesome mentors that you probably listen to. Your Tony Robbins, your Bob Proctor, your gurus, right? And every single one of them will say the quality of your questions determines the quality of your life. The quality of your life is a direct reflection of the quality of the questions you're asking yourself. Every single person has this in common. Okay, it's like this blanket statement in the personal development industry. And I remember the very first time I heard it, I was like, what does this even mean? What do you mean? Like, ask myself questions. Ask myself questions. And it might not seem like this hugely profound thing when you first look at it, but guys, it is a big deal when you really wrap your head around it. At the end of the day, we are always asking questions. Sometimes we're asking questions of other people. Sometimes we're asking questions of ourselves. And these questions have a huge impact on our lives. Because guess what every question does? It leads to an answer. And then the answers, they set up an emotion. And that emotion drives our behavior. And our behavior determines our results. This is why your questions, the things that you are asking yourself and of others, is crucial. Okay? Think of, something that you have a perceived failure at recently. Just think of something. Could be the thing that you said you're never going to eat again and then you did, or you were going to exercise and then you didn't, or you were never going to speak to that person again and then you did, and then you were going to start writing your book and you didn't. What was it? Now I want you to think of what questions did you ask yourself after you realized, like, oh crap, I didn't do what I said I was going to do. What were the questions you started asking yourself? Did they help? Or did they put you down? Okay, the questions we ask are powerful, for better or for worse. But either way, you are doing it, so you may as well nail it down. Okay, your questions, they direct your focus, they direct your energy, they direct your intentions. And your questions will either open your mind or shut it down. Okay, they direct our energy towards whatever we're thinking about. So if we are thinking and asking negative questions that are contribute to these limiting beliefs, then that's where we're going to head, and vice versa with positive. Okay, if you want to take your life to the next level, one of the most neglected places to look is the sort of questions that you are asking yourself today. Today's questions are tomorrow's answers and tomorrow's results. If today you're going, damn, I don't have what I wanted yesterday or last month or last year, start asking yourself better questions. Quit looking outside of you. Outside of you isn't going to give it to you. Okay. This whole process, more often than not, it just involves us. Okay. So, an example of a really poor question that we ask ourselves. Okay. Why is my job so crappy? And then we answer to ourselves, well, because it's boring. And then our emotional behavior then reflects it, right? And you feel stuck. We feel uninspired. We feel drained. And you think, oh, I'll make myself feel better by having fun this weekend. And the result is you go back to the same damn job that you were in on Monday. And you relive that all over again. but it's this cycle: thoughts, feelings, actions, results. Thoughts, feelings, actions, results. Okay, a poor quality question delivers a poor quality answer. And then these answers create these disempowering emotions. And from there, we are going to have then less desirable behaviors. And then we are going to have poor results. So if we flip that example with some really good quality questions, understand the more you ask, the better. Okay, so question: would I prefer to find a way of enjoying this job or get a new job? Answer: I'd like a new job. Okay. Well, what am I both good at and enjoy doing, which I'd really love to get paid for? Answer: I'm good at talking and I'd love to work in the personal development industry. Awesome. Okay. What action can I take towards getting into that industry? Okay. Well, I can start freelancing on the side. I could partner with someone that's more experienced in the industry. I could join someone that specializes in it and can not only teach me, but connect me with the places to start hanging out. I could look for jobs within a company that offers that or needs it. I could start masterminding and pulling on my network for advice and make some contacting. Maybe for what you want, you need some courses. Do you see how that the conversation that you'll have just in your mind, you don't even have to engage anybody else. It went a completely different way. And it'll then set up a different emotion and behavior, right? Because now I can see how this is possible and I'm not going to get the same result on Monday. Right? Like I now have a half a dozen ways to start the journey on a better career that suits me better, that's more on purpose for how I'm meant to show up in the world. I feel a sense of control. I'm inspired. I have clarity. I'm excited. Like, screw going out and getting wrecked on the weekend. Like, I got exciting stuff to do. And then it sets up a whole new vibration, and I'll start to attract in all the people, places, things, tools, resources that I need in order to get where I want to go. And the result is, even if I'm not in the exact career that I want to be in right now, I'm at least 2 steps closer to working where I want to work. Okay? The questions you ask can make the difference between success and failure. Okay? A question can do one of 2 things. It is going to either help you or it is going to hinder you. And there is no better place to look at this than in failures that you've experienced. Because you don't ever really fail, you only learn. Right? So look back at those experiences. Right? 2 people can fail at something and take it entirely a different way. And part of it relies on what they ask themselves. One person might say, why can't I ever do this right? And the other will ask, what am I doing wrong here? And how can I use this knowledge and awareness to do better next time? Same situation, 2 different questions. Right? The first question, it automatically assumes that you suck. Right? When you use words even like never, this is automatically going to spiral you into this hole, right? These types of questions they're not only limiting, but they're demoralizing and depressing. And they're not made up of truths. You don't suck. Fact is, we're all made from the same stuff. We all have access to this ability to ask questions. So you can encourage the victim mindset, or you can choose to get into the habit of asking the second type of question. And it's not that it's any softer. You still got to look yourself in the mirror and say, what's going on here? But what it does is it accepts that something that you are doing is not what you should be doing. It focuses on punch and possibility for change and for growth. So that the next time you come across this scenario, this situation that you're questioning yourself on, you can do better. Because I can tell you, you will be given lessons until you learn them. It's the reason you date the same kind of guy over and over and over again. They're just in a different body. It's the reason you have the same type of jobs over and over and over again. They're just for different companies. You might think, oh, I'm moving into this new job. It's the same damn job you just had. It's just for a different company. You're going to make about the same money. You're going to have about the same responsibility. You might have upped your like overall, like, ooh, I'm gonna earn, $5,000 more, or now I have benefits or whatever, right? Like that's cool, but it's the same thing. Whereas if you start asking yourself different questions, this is where quantum leaps can happen. The person that went from earning 5,000 a month to 50,000 a month started asking themselves different questions. When we do the same thing over and over and over and expect different results, that is the definition of insanity. And yet we do it. We wonder, why do I keep dating the same people over and over again? It's habit. You're just in the habit of doing that. So you get to choose to get out of that habit. Start asking yourself different questions. Start giving yourself some clarity. And how you do one thing is how you do all things. It will show up in your relationships. It's going to show up in your work. It's going to show up in your health. It's going to show up in your bank account. It's going to show up everywhere. Really, how much difference does this make? Okay, for someone at a pivotal moment in their life where they're at that tipping point between giving up and pressing forward, it makes a huge difference. Sometimes it is literally the difference between life and death. Okay, so to make sure that our questions build us up rather than break us down, we need to reprogram how we are thinking, which will then reprogram the questions that we are asking ourselves. When we're doing our study club in the morning and where everybody's having their aha moments, oh no, I heard this, no, I heard this. The best thing that they can then do from themselves, and I always encourage it, is what questions can you ask yourself based on that? How can you journal about that? How can you meditate on that? But it's about the reprogramming, starting to ask yourself good questions. Quality questions create a quality life. Okay, successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. Tony Robbins always says that. Okay, but the quality of our lives is not always based on our raw circumstance. It can be based on the mental and emotional lens that we are looking at the circumstances around us too. This is why committing to growing your awareness every day, and it never stops, never ends, is crucial. Okay, our questions can actually play a huge role in the rewiring, in the reprogramming process. And then on the flip side, like we know our questions can give us this like faulty view of what's actually happening. It'll distort our perception. But your questions are just another habit. You're either in the habit of asking really good questions or you're in the habit of asking questions that are not going to serve you. And then it'll be cyclical. Okay. To help you with your questioning, start by really paying attention and asking yourself really empowering questions. Okay. So, what does this look like? An empowering question, it's open ended, it's clear, it's not fuzzy, and it causes you to have to think a little bit deeper as opposed to keeping it shallow. Again, our whole society is in the habit of doing this. And come from a place of genuine curiosity. Like you're asking a question from when you were a kid, like you were a kid and you're just curious about everything. And always, always, always stick to positive language that are not built on like underlying assumptions, right? When we use negative language that are built on unproven and false assumptions, you're automatically setting yourself up down the rabbit hole. Okay. So, for an example, let's say you are trying to save money for an emergency fund, but it never seems to really go anywhere. So, you could say, why do I never have enough money? How will I set aside more money for my emergency fund next time? Why have I not been able to do this so far? What can I do differently that'll make it easier? Right? That first one, it's blunt. And although it asks why, like, why do I never have enough money? It isn't specific. It doesn't harness positive energy at all. And when you read it, there's this like underlying sense that you're a victim and that you're just never going to have enough money. Whereas when you start asking, how can I do this? Not that the how is up to you because money comes through your work, money comes through lots of different places. Another topic for another time. But it's just a better question. It's more focused on the goal. It's open ended, it's positive, and it's not putting you in the victim mentality. Really thinking about what your goal is and then asking, like reframing the questions around it. If you're not getting the results, assume it's because of the questions that you're asking yourself. Assume it's you, first of all. Go look in that mirror. You created the problem and you're also the solution. Promise. Promise, promise, promise. It's not going to be your job. It's not going to be your manager. It's not going to be your spouse or the government or whoever. You. Assume it's you. Okay? It's not actually the answer that enlightens us, but it's the question. Okay. It's easy to get focused on outside circumstances, outward things. But I encourage you to never ignore what's going on inside, because your outside is just a reflection of your inside. Okay. Our self talk, our self image, and the questions we direct at ourselves, they'll be you're they're subtle and they're quick, but they're so powerful. Far more powerful than you may realize. Okay? Respect the power of your self-talk. Respect the power of your questions. Instead of letting them kind of run off, become the seed of drawing out exactly what you need so that you can harness them to your advantage. Okay, a quality question will empower you to generate quality results. And those look different to everybody because it's whatever you desire. And it applies in every single area of your life. I was actually talking to someone the other day who had relationship goals, and they were like, why is there no decent people out there for me to date? Like, that was the question. What answer do you think they're going to get? Right? They had already resigned themselves to the answer that every human being that has the traits that they desire is already taken. And then they wonder why they're still single. Applies to your bank account too. You assume that all the money that ever was is already taken, none left for you. It's not true. But if you keep asking yourself that question, I can guarantee you're going to keep getting the same results. If you're looking for a partner, why not ask, what do I want in a partner? Where are those sorts of people found? How can I meet them? What can I do to continue to make myself a vibrational match for someone that I desire? And then you can take action from that space. Don't forget the action, by the way. Don't forget the action. It's not just about sitting there and asking yourself really good questions. When you get the answers, take action on them. Okay, but understand when you have a disempowering emotion, when you are in a disempowered state, it doesn't promote action at all. This is what will promote avoidance. See this with people when they have this like health goal and they got to go to the gym. But they're asking all these questions. Why can't I lose the weight? Why can't I this? Why can't I that? Why can't I fit into this? Why can't I do this? Doesn't make me want to go. Probably going to avoid the gym like the plague. Okay, quality questions generate empowering emotions and they will drive action. And then it's up to you to take the action. Fun, right? Remember, thoughts, feelings, action. Your questions are how you are are giving you the answers, which are setting up your emotions, which setting up your vibration, which is going to set you into action. So what questions are you asking yourself? And if you are ready to start asking different questions, I'm here to help. Here to help. Anybody who's working with me right now can tell you, I'm constantly saying, let's ask ourselves different questions. And it's a game changer. Absolute game changer. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you got some juicy nuggets out of this and that your challenge this week is to really start asking those different questions. Paying attention to where you're at, forgiving yourself, and moving forward. Decide now. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till January 1st. Start now. Start right now. Awesome.